everybody. My name is Sarah. I go by that divination witch. This channel is my second channel where I share readings. I'm here with the goddess Hecate, and I'm asking her if she can kindly give us all a collective reading. I'm just asking what the theme of the reading is. I'm using a new deck as well today. But let's get into it. I will be naming all the decks in the description, and if you would like a reading from me, that's in the description too. Yeah, right. Hecate. Alright, there's a lot there. Fire, courage, water, safe travel, boundaries, new life, divine feminine, talisman, psychic, magic. Oh my gosh. I wasn't expecting that many things to come out, man. Okay, mother. I do call her mother, by the way. Fire, courage, water, safe travel, boundaries. First, let's read it line by line. I hope you can see all of this on the video. Let's move some things actually to the side, just so you guys can see it all. Alright, that's line by line. We're going still. Right, that'll do. Goodness me. This is the situation. I did a reading the other day because I felt like I had to get a message off her for the collective, given the state of the world. It's obviously gotten no better, but has it gotten any worse? I don't think so. Please, if you haven't seen that reading, go watch it. It should be the last one on the channel. She talks in that reading about the state of the world in general and how we need to look after ourselves and those in our communities, our loved ones, friends, family as well, of course. That goes without saying. But how if we get involved with bigger picture stuff, number one, it's not what you think. It's co-opted by other things. People are pulling the strings, you know. It's not all what it appears to be on the surface level. And we're getting co-opted ourselves, getting sucked into stuff that really, it's not what we think it is. And fighting and being passionate about things is fine, but there comes a point where it's just damaging, you know, regardless of your views. What sticks in my mind with that last reading was her explaining that all this energy, you know, one side's got their views and they're going at it. The other side's got their views, they're going at it. If neither side is willing to budge or move, it's going to just end up in an explosion. Read between the lines there. Which is not good for anyone. Therefore, withdraw and look at yourself, your own little world, how you can protect that, how you can enforce that. And that's what this is, this first line here. This is fire, courage, water. So this is the conflict. Okay, you've got fire and water going at it. Opposite, you would think water would cancel out fire and fire couldn't fight water, but actually it's not that simple. Okay, so you do have opposing forces going at one another, and what she is saying is safe travel, courage. It's like move away for your own safety, for your own well-being, not just in a physical sense, but in a mental sense too, and in a spiritual sense. I also mentioned in that last reading how I was feeling too, psychically. I've had to have a few days break, to be honest. That's why I've been quiet on my main YouTube as well, because I felt just so upset. I could feel it off everyone, and literally for me personally, try not to put my personal feelings into this as well, but her advice was to withdraw, and I just focused on other things. I haven't engaged with the news, whether it's mainstream news or not. I haven't engaged with any of it, and I've just been in a little bubble for a few days, healing myself mending my own mental health and focusing on, I guess, more frivolous things. You know, I was actually watching Benidorm. If you know what that is, it's hilarious. It's a British TV show. I've watched it a million times. You know, I just stuck that on. And I've been working on my own oracle deck, actually. That's what I've been doing. So anyways, for you on a personal level, she is really saying do that and put those walls up, those boundaries to this. Now, it doesn't mean you have to be totally ignorant, and it doesn't mean you have to forfeit your morals or what you believe in. Okay, we're not taking sides here. We're not getting into that. You still do you, okay? But when it's impacting you, then you got to think about it, okay? This is where it's new life, divine feminine, talisman, psychic magic. And this is what she had me work on and do as well. So even in a mundane way, yeah, I've been watching bloody Benidorm out of everything. But this is not... The patriarchy, what we're going through, is not what life is fully about. Come on, the divine feminine, she was written out of history on purpose for a reason, you know, demonized for a reason. Hecate herself is called a demon by some people. There's other goddesses that were literally erased. Asherah was Yahweh's wife, written out of the Bible, written out of canon, you know, and the divine feminine, the feminine in general, handles things a bit differently. That energy of feminine, or what we would call feminine, is more nurturing, and that's the new life situation. And she's giving this talisman card to say it's her as well, okay? And that's her advice. She's saying withdraw, nurture yourselves, nurture one another, nurture your community, your family, your friends, those around you. Nurture your own little lives, everyone, our own individual bubbles. And if we're all doing that, and then we'll all have a domino effect, because the microcosm affects the macrocosm. The small affects the large, you know, the smaller picture affects the bigger picture. So if more people were more nurturing and neighbourly and kind and caring, instead of getting smushed up into this conflict, I'm doing it like this because I feel like it's a tidal wave. I feel like that's the imagery. It's like indoctrination, regardless of your political leanings. It's all like, it's part of a master plan. Puppet master. Okay, I don't know what that master plan is. I'm not getting into it. We're on YouTube as well. I have ideas, what she's shown me, but it's not it. Okay, our divine purpose, we are so detached from that. We're so far removed from that, because at the end of it all, and I think I said this in the last reading, we're all human beings, regardless of where you live, who you vote for, what religion you follow, colour of your skin, what size you are, if you've got a disability or not, your history, your name, your gender, your sexuality, all of these labels, all of this crap is human. And yeah, we're all in this together, whether we like it or not. But anyways, withdraw, nurture, and get in touch with this side of things, psychic senses, magic. Now, one of the people or groups of people that were initially blamed for what happened to that guy, let's say it like that because YouTube, were witches, stupid idiots, that's my opinion. Published an article saying, oh, Etsy witches did it. As somebody who sells readings on Etsy, I mean, yes, it is a minefield on there. There are scammers on there, yes. But it's just blaming, passing the buck, and like glorification of things. Do you really think magic did that? Absolutely not. It's bullshit, okay? And it's just another cop out. It's just another way to blame a smaller group and try and get us from being peaceful, because regardless of your own ethics, magic in general, it is a primal force. It's a primal thing. Regardless of the type of magic you do or practice, high magic, ceremonial magic, regardless of the type of magic, even if you are like herbalism and herbal magic, you know, it's tapping into something above and beyond us, and I feel like to blame that, to demonize that, is to weaken it, is to have us distracted from it, from the true connection. Because I feel like with magic, it's a way of tapping into something kind of unexplainable that maybe one day science could explain. I've always stood by this, that magic is just a science that we can't fully explain yet. You know, there's quantum physics and there's theories on things, but there's nothing tangible, no full tangible evidence. And yet I've had things happen that are like miracles, really, that I can't explain any other way than magic. And it's been there since like the dawn of time, in a way. And sure, some of it is explainable now. Some of the phenomenon that ancient peoples might have called magic, we can explain with science. But it doesn't make it any less magic, and that belief, that connection in something more, it's an integral part of being human in a way. And I feel like we're being separated from things on purpose, and I feel like that's what she's trying to say in this message. That's why she's saying to just withdraw, let them get on with it, protect yourself, you and yours, your community, the people around you, help each other out, and tap into that side of things too. So that's, well, that was meant to just be the theme of the reading, but that's just a reading within itself. Now we're going to use this new oracle deck that I did a review on. Let's see. Independence, mystery, luck. Okay. Yes, we need to be looking at our own individual lives, etc., what she has said. Mystery. It is a mystery what's going on, the true intentions. And some of this is not, let me rephrase it, some of it will never be known, okay? And that's the mystery. Some of the true intentions are never, ever going to be revealed. Don't get too caught up in emotions. Your own life, your own priorities should be paramount. Okay. Because otherwise it's blockages. Crow, hummingbird, reverse, birds are messengers by nature. They've both got messengers on there. Crows are normally guides to the dead as well, and I think of the Morrigan, I think of, you know, battlefields and omens. Hummingbirds, I think of like sweetness and joy. It's like death and life, but reversed. It's blockages from the real cycle, the real truth. It's back to these cards where it had psychic and magic there. It's blockages from gifts that we as humans naturally have and we've been starved of in a way. And the fact that it was a cat, the first card too. I mean, cats are said to be sacred. They're said to be magical creatures, you know, in history. They were revered by Egyptians for a reason and merged with certain gods like Bastet for a reason. Yeah. Okay. Mother, and I'm talking to Hecate when I say that. Is there anything else you would like to tell us through the tarot? We have to try and let things go. We have to work towards our own futures. Try and let things go, because if you are one of these people getting affected by the current climate, let's say, like I've already said, you don't have to totally forego your morals, but some things you can't change. And yeah, people argue that protesting is to make change, but the other side, regardless of what side you're on, are not going to make that change. It's not about that right now. You have to trust yourself above everything else. If you truly feel like it's going to make a difference, who am I to stop you? Who am I to tell you no? Who, as another human, do what you want. But Hecate, a goddess who, like I said in the last reading, has seen everything, seen this happen time and again. When will we learn? When will we learn as humans to stop repeating the same mistakes? Go back 100 years, similar vibe. Death. Now, death doesn't automatically mean that. It doesn't mean that someone's going to die. But everything is a cycle, and I have to just rip the bandage off and say we're not learning our lessons, and that's what the goddess is saying. That's what Hecate is saying. As humans, as a collective, we're not learning from our mistakes. Like I said, go back 100 years, very similar vibe. We're very childish in that way. And there's some of us that are hopeful for the future and hopeful that things will change. But if more people are getting swept up in this, then no, it's not going to change. Instead, we've got to start listening to our hearts, Some of us, or some of the people who are involved in this, do so because they feel obligated, they feel a sense of duty, a sense of having to do that because of ethics that have been drummed into them. And they see others, their peers maybe, doing stuff like that. But that's all it leads to: heartbreak, pain on both sides. Because there's good and bad on all sides, believe it or not. I mean, there's just such corruption. This is higher than you could think. It really is. That's all I can say on the matter. Another heavy reading coming out. So, okay, I'm going to ask you, Hecate, because we know this, and it's sort of mirroring the situation last time, okay? But can you share with people here, Mother, what they should be doing instead for themselves? Like, I just noticed that was wonky. What should they be doing? Creation is the foundation. That's what she is saying. That's the words. Yeah. Creation is the foundation. We should be looking at things that we can achieve, things that we can create, okay? We're missing the bigger we're missing the bigger picture. She's putting someone in my head. I don't know how true this is, but a musician that is playing the piano in war-torn Berlin. What is this that I'm seeing in my mind's eye? I don't know who this is. I'm not sure which war. I think it's the second war. Let's say it like that. Who was writing music while bombs were going off. That's what I'm seeing. He's sitting at a piano, writing music. And then I am also seeing somebody out in the street, not in Berlin, in the countryside somewhere. Maybe France, maybe somewhere else in Europe. They're outside, I say street, it's a country lane, with an easel, painting, and overhead the Luftwaffe are flying. And they are painting the beautiful countryside, but the Luftwaffe, and I'm said to use the Luftwaffe. Am I pronouncing that right? I hope I am. But that's the German Air Force back then. I don't know if it's still called that. Were in the picture. There is beauty that comes out of these situations, difficult situations. She is putting in my mind Anne Frank as well. I know that's kind of dark, but that poor girl and her family, you know, she's now so famous. She didn't do that for fame, obviously not. Self-preservation, fear, documentation of her truth. And if we can learn anything from her, she was, and her family, they were protecting their bubble, their, one another. And the community did try help too, And that's what she's putting in mind as well, that if more people acted like that in that time, there would have been less pain. Now that's a different circumstance, maybe more extreme, and hopefully we don't get to anything like that. But she's putting those pictures in my mind for a reason here. So, priorities. Some of us, it's difficult to say. Some people react, it's like fight or flight. That's what I'm feeling as a collective. We're in that survival mode. Some people fight, some people flight. And in a way, she's telling us to do the latter, flight, in a way. But that's not because you're cowardly. It's not because you don't have morals. She's saying the fight is fruitless. It's just causing more pain. God, I'm filling up now. Right, calm down. And we're missing the bigger picture. There's a bigger picture to this. And that's what we should be focusing on. That's what I asked her. Healing, loving, caring energy, okay? Focusing more on that. Less on the fighting, okay? More on the positivity, creative side, manifestation side. Put some good in the world, You don't have to be a saint. No one's saying go out there and, be flawless and selfless and, anything like that. We're not saying that. It's just, don't feed the beast. Those are the words I'm taught to use. You're feeding the beast. I feel like it's like we're throwing countless energy into a void, but I don't think it is a void on a spiritual level. And I'm going to sound like a conspiracy theorist, but it's not very nice, and it's on both sides. People don't even see it. I don't know what this energy is. It's just bad energy. That's all I can say. We're just creating more bad energy. Okay, can I have, please, just something to end this on a positive way, Mother? Right, a positive note. I'm laughing because it's kind of positive, but it's also like she always gives a caveat. And Hecate wouldn't say this, but this is me saying this. You can't polish a turd. You literally can't. Hecate wouldn't put it like that. She would say, she never lies, you see. She says it how it is, whether you like it or not, on a personal level, on a big scale too. Look, the world is ours, okay? This is our home. The one home we're going to get. How we treat it and each other upon it, well, that's up to us. That's us at the crossroads. And that's, I don't know if this is why she's making herself really known. Has anyone else realised? More and more people are talking about the divine feminine. She's waking people up because as a collective, we're at a crossroads point, like we have been in history. Go back 100 years, the analogy she put in my head as well. It's a tipping point. Are we going to break the cycle or not? Are we just going to continue on? Are we learning some lessons here or not? Yeah, she's goddess of the liminal, goddess of the crossroads after all. Yeah, so it's not all doom and gloom, although it does feel that way. It's up to us how we react at this time. And it's up to us how we behave for ourselves and for each other. And that is the message. So thank you very much, Hecate. Thank you everybody for listening. I hope this has helped. And if you did resonate, please hit like, leave a comment, all that jazz. It really helps this channel. Okay? Appreciate you all. Thank you again, Mother Hecate. Until next time, stay safe, stay witchy. That is an automatic habit from my other channel. But yes, I mean it on this one too. You know, stay safe, stay witchy, all that jazz. Okay? Bye everybody. Bye.